wrestling fans and around the world. Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen? This is WCC's Overload with your host, the one, the only, El Orgullo de México, El.CIBERNETICO. Alongside with me, as always, from the Buckeye State himself, Mr. T-Sean Jones.
What's up, wrestling fans? What's up, WCC fam? Yes, it's your boy, Mr. Jones, live and direct from the Buckeye State. That's right. Thank you, El, for the introduction. Thank you.
Damn. Here we go. We got some crazy shit going on tonight. We're talking about the Click. We're talking about WWE's new fucking crappy-ass belt, but that's coming up a little later. But before we start the show, ladies and gentlemen, WCC reminds you to always support your local indie scene out there. Always. It doesn't matter if it's $5, $10, $15, $20, even $30 for an indie show. That's right. I said it, $30 for an indie show. It doesn't matter. Support your local indie show wherever they're at, whether it be a flea market, the backyards, the American Legion posts, all that stuff. Support your local indie scene, and as always, WCC reminds you to support Santino Brothers Dojo every Thursday night. That's right, every Thursday night. The stars of Championship Wrestling from Hollywood host their own events, of course, in the beautiful city of Bell Gardens. Address is 5640 Schultz Street, Unit Number S. Bell time is at 8:30 p.m., $10 donation. For more information, just hit up SantinoBros.net. Or you can go ahead and hit them up at HollywoodWrestling.com. Or better yet, send them a text. Call them at 323-896-3017 for more information. That's Santino Brothers and, of course, Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, putting exhibition shows every Thursday night. T-Sean Jones, I know I showed you a video from them a few weeks ago. What you think about Championship Wrestling from Hollywood?
Oh, man, it's awesome. I mean, that's wrestling at its best right there. Like you said, you know, it may not be like WWE, but at the same time, man, oh my gosh, those guys can throw down.
Throw down it is. $10 a donation. Also, WCC is proudly presenting you two events on one weekend. Friday, March 22nd, PWG, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, comes to you live and direct from Reseda, California. That's right, Reseda, California. It will be two back-to-back nights, Friday and Saturday night. I personally myself will be at the Saturday show, which will be at the American Legion Hall in Reseda, California. Address is 7338 Canopy Avenue, Reseda, California, 91335. Once again, 7338 Canopy Avenue, Reseda, California, 91335. In the main event, you will have Adam Cole, the champion, Adam Cole, going up against either the winner from the previous night, either Sami Callihan or Drake Younger. Also, another big supporter in WCC, AR Fox, going up against the man beast himself, Kevin Steen. That's right. And of course, in tag team action, you will see the Young Bucks, a.k.a. Generation Me, going up against the Dojo Brothers of Eddie Edwards and Redrick Strong. Also, and now for the first time ever, my two favorites, Jay Lethal going up against Willie Mack. Tickets on sale this Thursday night. They go online on their PayPal site. Tickets are about $30. Like I said, it's a little expensive, but you got 9 exciting matches. Come on, these 3 matches are already worth $25. So you got 9 full matches coming up. But in other news, don't forget to follow WCC on Twitter at WCC Live. Also, if you got Facebook, make sure to add us on Facebook at facebook.com/groups/Wrestling Commentary Central. We got a goddamn long-ass name. God damn it. But anyways, if you got Twitter, once again, follow us on Twitter at WCC Live. Mr. Jones, I believe we're taking this shit up north, if you know what I mean. Northern California, that is. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and make some noise for the very funny and talented Mr. Sam Medina. Oh, There's Sean. He's walking over the door. Sam, welcome to the show. Welcome to Overload.
Thank you very much. It's good to be on the show.
Whoop, whoop. First off.
Yeah, how you guys doing?
Pretty awesome. We're a little hyped up because, oh, man, last night, I know you're a wrestling fan. You know I'm a wrestling fan. You know Sean's a wrestling fan. So I got to ask you straight up. Let's start off with you first real quick.
Okay.
Sam Medina, what you're all about? Tell us. Let everybody know what you're all about.
Oh, man, I'm just a NorCal guy, man, just watching wrestling and trying to do some comedy, trying to make the world laugh. Just having fun, living my life. And I've been a wrestling fan my entire life, 20-plus years just watching it. Just good times, bad times, just like my Niners.
I got
to represent no matter what. I had to represent no matter what. Good times, bad times, just like WWE. Right. Mostly bad times.
Ouch. God damn. Hey, Sam, so real quick, influences. Who got you into comedy real quick?
My favorite comedian of all time, Mitch Hedberg. Hands down, Mitch Hedberg. He's the one who I listened to him, and I was like, I have to do that. But, I grew up on the greats, George Carlin, even like listening to Bill Cosby, growing up, and Eddie Murphy, and just all the, just all classic stuff.
Right.
But definitely Mitch Hedberg is the guy that made me say, I want to do that.
Yeah,
and now I'm doing it.
Man. Mitch Hedberg is funny. I will say that, man.
Yeah. God rest his soul. Great guy. Well, I don't know if I never met him. He's a great comedian, though. Definitely was one of the best.
That's what's up. So, growing up as a kid, around what time did you get into wrestling?
Oh, man, you know what? I've been watching wrestling as far back as I can remember. I remember in the 80s. I remember, vaguely in the 80s because I was little then. But I remember watching Hulk Hogan, with the WWF Championship. And I remember being a little kid and just thinking, how come Hulk Hogan only wrestles on pay-per-view? And being really mad about it, They got to sell them pay-per-views, I guess, right?
Right. You mean you're telling me you didn't climb up the pole like every Hispanic climb up there and connect the cable and watch some free cable like I did?
No, I definitely didn't have to climb up the pole. I had my dad for that one. we had the illegal cable box. I got all the pay-per-views. That was great, man. Good times growing up watching all kinds of wrestling. It was so good back then too.
Exactly, man. Oh man, what from all these wrestlers that you see nowadays, which one stands out for you the most that has like a bright future, that you think has a bright future?
A bright future? Oh, man. I mean, there's a lot of them. There's Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler really stands out. He's a breakthrough star. He's going to be a big star one day. The guy that I really, really focus on, I don't know about future, but he's definitely the today is the CM Punk. I've been watching CM Punk since he was in Ring of Honor. I've been watching him for the past 10 years, and he's definitely come a long way. And he's a guy that wasn't supposed to make it to the top, and he definitely did. And I'm really happy about that.
So you like supporting those underdogs a lot, don't you?
I definitely do. Because I am one.
That's
I know how it feels to be a guy that's not supposed to make it.
Right. So back to your comedy and stuff. I was checking out your YouTube channel, and basically some of your shows from the San Jose Improv Comedy Club.
Yeah.
By any chance, but now not to be like a little groupie or anything, by any chance, any top celebrities you've been hanging out with out there in San Jose?
Oh, man, I don't really have any celebrities, That'd be the day, though. I barely missed Joe Rogan and Doug Benson. They came through to do a big show, and a bunch of my boys hung out with them. I didn't make it to that show, though, so I was really sad about that. And Robin Williams pops up every now and then in San Francisco. I haven't seen him yet either. But I know all these people who know these guys, who have met these guys, and it's pretty amazing.
That's what's up.
Yeah, Robin Williams, there's this club in San Francisco. It's like a bar. They do comedy there. It's called Dirty Tricks. And I guess Robin Williams lives right down the street from it, like up in the hills. And right before he was doing this, he did a big comedy special, and he kept he would just pop in at Dirty Tricks, this little bar, and just practice his jokes and stuff. And, it's really amazing for us, the little guys, to see one of the greatest of all time he has to practice. He has to go out there. He has to hit the streets before he can hit the big stage. And, it's really inspirational.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So when can we see any of your shows upcoming out here towards LA or anywhere else? Any upcoming
I haven't been to LA yet. I really want to. LA's it's pretty dog eat dog out there from what I hear. But I'm trying to make that trek out to LA. I'm going to be at the Rooster Teeth Feathers Comedy Competition on March 13th here in Sunnyvale, California. And that should be pretty interesting.
Hell yeah. So, Sean, let's get down to business. Sam, join us on this conversation here. So what do you think about let's get down to business. So what you think about last night? WWE tries to bring out a new championship belt.
I have very mixed feelings about the new belt. My first initial response is that I didn't really like it too much, but you know what? I've been studying at that spinner belt for 8 years now, and I'm glad to look at something else. It's pretty nice, compared to the spinner belt. So we'll see. I guess they have the little bombable plates on there. We'll see what happens when John Cena wins it. If they put "You can't see me" plates on the side, I don't know.
Oh.
Well,
interchangeable side plates. It's weird.
Oh man.
I like it though. What did you guys think? Did you like it?
Sean, go ahead.
Oh man, that was when he was commenting about the plates. I guess they're going to change it from where they usually have the name on it to whatever the icon or symbol for the.
Oh, so instead of having a nameplate, they're gonna have a logo now.
Because I didn't see a name plate for it. I've been trying to get a up and close picture of it, and so far what I've seen, they gone away the nameplate.
Well, the nameplate thing is kind of new for WWE, anyways. I think the spinner belt is the first belt. Is it the first belt that had it, besides the world title, which was the WCW title?
Exactly.
Right.
Maybe the unified. The unified title might have had a nameplate on it too, but other than that, that was 10 years ago, so that's 2002, and so that's pretty new as far as WWE goes, the nameplates.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking with the comedian himself, Mr. Sam Medina. Don't forget to follow him on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Funky Sam Medina. Sam, so last
Google
night,
me. I'm on all of them.
He's on all of them. So, Sam, last night, WWE decided to say, hey, John Cena, your championship belt is in the trash can. We're going to put it in the museum. We're going to hang that bitch up and leave it hanging, collecting dust. A lot of people are saying that John Cena actually got pissed off last night of the fact that they brought a new belt. Was that a story angle / bullshit, or was that for real? Because I'll admit, Cena did sell that correctly.
I'm hoping it was a storyline. I'm hoping he was just, playing to his character. He seems to be a team player, but, I don't know about John Cena sometimes.
Yeah.
All these crazy rumors going on about him. I'm not gonna point any fingers because from what I hear, they're not true, but they're still pretty crazy rumors.
Damn.
I was gonna ask you, how do you feel about John Cena? Are you a John Cena fan, or are you one of those guys that says, Cena sucks?
What's funny is for the longest time, I liked Cena when he first came in. He was doing the rap gimmick. He was heel, and he turned face. I kind of liked him for a while, but I've been not liking him. I've been anti-Cena for a long time now. But it seems so mainstream, I guess. What's the word I'm looking for? It seems so cool these days to be anti-Cena. So I don't really feel anti-Cena that much. I respect the guy. He does 200. I don't even know. I could be making this number up. He does 200 Make-A-Wishes a year. He visits a lot of little kids. He does a lot of good things for the business. He's been that star that we haven't had, and without him, wrestling probably would be a lot worse off than it is right now. So John Cena's done a lot for the business. So I'll give him props. I may not like him. He may not have a lot of quote unquote wrestling ability like the guys who I like. Like a Bret Hart, like a Kurt Angle, like a Chris Jericho. But you know what? He loves the business, and for that I respect him.
That's what's up. So we're being joined also by some of the WCC members up on here. First off, we got Dr. Octavio Martinez Jr. Sorry if I fucked up your name, Octavio. Octavio, what's up, man? You're talking with us, and of course our special guest tonight, Mr. Sam Medina.
Hello, how's everybody doing out here?
What up, man?
So any questions for Sam? Because we all know that Sam loves wrestling just like we do. What you think about last night's bout, Octavio? First off, let's talk about the bout real quick. What you think about the bout?
Okay, yeah. Well, I really had no problem with it. You know, it's just it was just like a standard belt, and I'm kind of glad they stick with it instead of making it too shiny and everything. It's okay. I'm just a little disappointed. There's no more, like they didn't have like 2 or more side plates that they usually do on the belt. It's still a pretty good belt. The only thing that I kind of joke about it looks like a Big Show, like a Big Show's missing ring or something, you know.
Oh,
It does.
damn. Let's see who else is on here. We also got from Milwaukee himself, Mr. Paul Martin. Paul, you're talking with our good friend Sam Medina. Paul, what you think about the championship belt last night?
The belt looks all right. It just, I was hoping it'd be looking a little bit more like now with the big WWE logo on it, and I don't know, it's just going to take time to get used to, but, you know, I was happy not to see the spinner belt anymore because the spinner belt pisses me off with, you know, the spinning around shit.
Damn, we got a lot of John Cena anti-haters up in here tonight. Ouch. Damn.
You're welcome.
All I'll say is this for the John Cena belt, it's about time they changed it because, like, I couldn't stand it. Like, you know, when WWE comes to town and it's like, okay, I want a belt, you know, and then they have nothing but the spinner. I'm like, crap.
Damn.
So, and, you know, 8 years is a long time for one title. They haven't had one belt for that long, and probably since the 80s or the 70s, I don't know.
Right. Going down south, of course, down mid-south, Mr. Brandon Doolin himself. Brandon Doolin, you're talking with Sam Medina and the WCC family. Brandon Doolin, what did you think about last night's championship belt?
Well, I do think it's better than the spinner belt. I'm not going to say it's worse. It's not the worst-looking belt I've seen, but personally, I prefer the undisputed belt, but that's just me. And did anybody, by the way, did anybody notice John Cena looking legitimately pissed or whatever, like Heather pointed out? Am I the only one that thinks, like, you need to shut up and get over it? They had your belt for 8 years.
Damn.
It's like they had your belt for 8 years. Get over it. Best way to get rid of belts I've ever seen, getting smacked in the back of the head with it by CM Punk. I loved it.
Damn.
That was funny.
What you think about that, Sam?
About what was that? About CM Punk taking out John Cena?
Basically, yeah.
It happens every time they step in the ring together. And you know what? Next Monday night, I could see CM Punk getting his golden ticket to WrestleMania.
Oh. Is there any possibility that you...
It probably won't happen, but you know, I got to live in the optimistic world here.
Right. But is there any chance? This will actually really become actual three-way, a triple threat, basically?
Well, the rumors were that Punk was supposed to face The Undertaker. Those are the big rumors, and it looks like Taker's not going to make his appearance. He's not going to come for WrestleMania. So, other than putting him in a match against like Ryback or something stupid like that, I guess that's the only thing they can really do with Punk right now. They kind of paint themselves into a corner here with not really giving Punk a feud.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I'm actually glad, Sam, you brought that up, that, you know, it's supposed to be Punk versus Undertaker. And I'm glad they're not going with that. I'm actually glad they may go with a three-way at WrestleMania with Cena, Punk, and Rock. Because, I mean, I don't want to see Undertaker in the ring. I really don't. But I'd rather see this match right here.
Yeah. They have a good dynamic, the three of them. They really do. And you know what? There was a press conference yesterday, and they announced that The Rock is going to be part of he's there until WrestleMania 30, of course, on a part-time basis. But this kind of changes things because I thought The Rock was going to lose the belt to Cena and then fade off into the sunset and live happily ever after. But who knows? The Rock could walk out of WrestleMania as champion.
Were you, by any chance, were you excited for that? Were you excited that The Rock beat CM Punk? I know I was, but I was expecting The Rock to be a little more active on the roster.
As a little fanboy, I was very disappointed. But as a responsible adult looking at the business the way it is, it's the best thing they could have done right now. The Rock gives the WWE a lot of mainstream coverage, and he's a bona fide star. He's a big movie star. So giving him the belt is the right thing. He's not just some guy off the streets. He's paid his dues. He's been there. He's worked. John Cena keeps saying, you don't work here. You don't do this. You don't do that. But The Rock was there when John Cena was. Who knows where John Cena was when The Rock was doing that stuff?
When John Cena wasn't even in OVW.
He wasn't even in OVW yet. Yeah, you're right.
Right.
Like in his UPW days.
Exactly.
I would have loved to see CM Punk carry the WWE title to 2017 and beat Bruno Sammartino's streak. I would have loved to see that, but obviously it's not going to happen. Not in this day and age.
Wow.
That's what's up. Damn. That was another question for you. I was going to ask you. The whole thing with Bruno, why do you think it just took him so long to accept it, like to be accepted in the Hall of Fame? What do you think was really holding him back?
Well, according to him, it was the edginess of the business. It was the edginess of WWE. And he claims that they've mellowed out now, and now they're PG. He's going to, cooperate with them and stuff. But, the almighty dollar speaks. So
right.
I don't know, because I heard he got a lot of money. I didn't see a number, but I read online that he got a lot of money. And why not? He's going to go. They're going to make DVDs. They're going to put him in the Hall of Fame. They're going to whore his name out just like they do everybody else.
Right.
And probably because Triple H has a lot more power too. And Triple H is really old school, and he's more of a wrestling. He's more into wrestling than Vince is. Vince is more into entertainment. Triple H is more into wrestling, and so that's probably another thing that persuaded Bruno.
And when it comes to the game, between Vince and the wrestlers, he's that liaison, so to speak. It's kind of that bridge. At this point.
Right.
Definitely.
So Sean, we're talking about Hall of Fame, we're talking about Bruno, we're talking about the belt, we got Sam Medina on the line. So basically, how about this? Let's take it down to the mid-'90s. Let's talk about the Click. A lot of people were saying the Click was going to enter the Hall of Fame this year. Guess not.
No, it's not going to happen with Bruno going in.
Yeah, my thing is the people. The word that was coming up is that the Click was supposed to be in the Hall of Fame, but not this year. But then some people were complaining that, they're all going to be joining in at the exact same time.
Right.
So my thing is, a lot of people, a lot of groups, wrestling groups, were complaining that they shouldn't even be in the Hall of Fame. Period. Not Hall, not Nash, not Sean Waltman, aka X-Pac, but I think they should. They pay their dues in the wrestling business, even back in the '90s, going into this into this time and age. They pave ways too.
Here's my beef with the Click going in the Hall of Fame. I can see DX going in. I can see the NWO going in. But the Click was never really an on TV group. They were just mostly behind the scenes. So putting them in the Hall of Fame is completely, I don't know. I think it's stupid.
Right.
I would love to see Hall and Nash go in. I would love to see them go in, but not as the Click.
Well,
Octavio Martinez, what do you think about the Click?
It's very questionable putting the Click into the WWE Hall of Fame because the Click is basically outside the ring stable. DX and NWO, that's the on-screen. But putting the Clique in there, they really didn't do much for wrestling. They mentioned the name and such. It's just like, did they really pave the way of wrestling? In some ways, yes, and in some ways, no. If you think about it, whoever was in charge during that time, they got their way. And, of course, some of the other people at the other end did not get, they didn't really get what they deserved unless it was Michaels or Hunter. Any of those guys did not allow it. So in some ways, I'm not sure if you really would like to put the Clique as part of the WWE Hall of Fame. But if you put them individually, I guess that'd be fine. And who knows, maybe we would actually see a very better-looking and sober Scott Hall if he ever gets inducted by next year.
That's what's up. Paul Martin, what you think about the Clique?
They made, like the WWE fun then and stuff. I don't really think they, paved the way that much in wrestling, but they, did, somewhat in history to pave the way. But they were a fun group.
As you know, I think everybody knows he got to Atlanta, I think today or yesterday, and he's going to go stay with DDP and Jake the Snake Roberts, and hopefully get his life back on track. And I'm really hoping for this guy, man. Scott Hall, I grew up watching him. He was an awesome professional wrestler, and I wish he would have been world champion. And I just hope that he can get good enough to make WWE appearances and get the trust back that he used to have with them.
Yeah, exactly, man. For those of you that haven't been following DDP on Twitter, basically DDP and Jake the Snake Roberts reached out to Scott Hall and said, hey, dude, we heard from X-Pac that you've been almost dying, literally. So what happened was that good old Jake and DDP decided to call up Scott Hall and said, hey, you know what, come up to Atlanta, let's get you sobered up. By the way, God bless Jake Roberts. He is now officially clean for the past 60 days now.
Yeah, 60 days, man. When he told Scott Hall on the phone, Scott Hall couldn't believe it. 60 days sounded like an eternity to him being sober.
Exactly. I mean, that's kind of fucked up when you see an alcoholic like that saying that he woke up to having vodka for breakfast. Damn.
Yeah, he's definitely got his demons, and I don't want Scott Hall to be another statistic in wrestling. I want him to be able to watch his son be a wrestler for a while. I don't know if his son's any good, but his son's a wrestler.
Actually, I seen one of his YouTube videos. His son's decent. I mean, the thing is that, you're thinking Scott Hall, you're thinking his son, you're thinking the son's going to be probably as big as him, maybe even bigger. He's actually smaller.
And he's a little white boy, too, and Scott Hall looks all dark. Scott Hall's all, remember he used to be Cuban? Before he was Scott Hall, right? When he was Razor Ramon, he was Cuban.
Yeah.
I saw, his son is really super skinny, and I'm like, wow, this. I mean, it has to deal with the genes, but at the same time, I'm like, wow, this is kind of sad.
And did you guys see his ring gear? He comes out to Scott Hall's old ring gear. That's gonna be awkward. He's like, Dad, why do your trunks smell like alcohol?
Right?
Oh, I can't say that about Scott Hall. I'll wait. I'll wait till he's better, then I'll make fun of him.
Damn. Joining us right now, all the way from Milwaukee, the CEO of WCC, Mr. Chris. Team Bring It. What's up, Chris? How you doing tonight?
What's up, Diego? What's going on? I'm sorry.
What's going on?
I hate coming in here all late and shit. You know what I'm saying? What's up for our special guest, Mr. Sam? You know what I'm saying? I'm
what
sorry,
up?
I just woke up. I'm tired of the bitch. What's going on, bro? What's going on, Dale? What's going on? Hey,
real quick, Chris, what you think about the Clique, man? I mean, you know him from back in the day, so what you think about the Clique, straight up? And don't hold back, because you never do.
Don't hold back. Okay, well, I know everybody in here respect the Clique, you know what I'm saying, but me, for one, I would have to say that individually, I do respect each and every one of their talents, but as a whole, I don't give a fuck about them, to be really honest with you. You know, because for the simple fact, the clique is known to be none more than a bunch of power-hungry bitches, basically. So I really, you know, them going into the Hall of Fame will be nothing but pure disrespect, basically, because they were in the back, basically telling people who to push, who not to push. That, you know, if you pretty much was like, you know, friends of the clique, you pretty much will have to do something for them in order to get pushed, or in order to join with them or whatever. And I don't think that's like really cool, whatever. And to be honest with you, no one would have heard of the clique if it wasn't for that New York incident that happened in Madison Square Garden. No one ever would have heard of the clique. You know what I'm saying? So I just really think, you know, I'm with Sam about this one. Like, I don't think it would be right. You know, I mean, even though this would probably be a shortcut for, you know, X-Pac and Scott Hall to, you know, make it to the Hall of Fame. Because, I mean, with the exception of Scott Hall, I mean, what X-Pac have done to pave the way for other wrestlers?
The Cruiserweight division.
Yeah, he definitely paved the Cruiserweight division. In America, anyway.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, in America, you know, but, you know, with that porn shit with China, that might hurt his ass a little bit. But I don't know. I'm serious. I'm like dead serious. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He should get the Pete Rose treatment just for that video he made.
I mean, that would, like, kind of, like, really hurt his chest. Like, oh, my God, like, you're the person that slept with China. Oh, my God. You know, especially in the PG era. Now, if this was an Attitude Era, they wouldn't even give a fuck. I was like, oh, you banged China? Oh, okay, all right, cool. Well, you know.
Here's a clip.
Yeah, right, you know. So, but, yeah, I mean, you know, it is what it is. I mean, but, you know, for Scott Hall was like, you know, when he was raising Ramon, motherfucker was one of my favorite superstars when I first watched the WWE. So, I mean, I hope he gets better. You know, Kevin Nash, broken knees and all. I mean, he was one of my favorite wrestlers, too, you know, when he was diesel in the WWE. But, I mean, it is what it is. If they get adopted to the Hall of Fame, you know, expect a rebuttal from wrestling fans, basically.
Right.
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
So Sam, hey, so if it wasn't the clique, so who are you expected to be in the Hall of Fame next year? I mean,
well, who I want to be in the Hall of Fame is Randy Savage, but that's not going to happen.
Definitely.
I really want Randy Savage to be in the Hall of Fame.
That will not happen.
That won't happen, but I mean, I can dream, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, we can all dream. I mean,
you know what? Actually, this just popped into my head. The Rock is going to be part of WrestleMania 30, but we don't know in what capacity. He could be a Hall of Fame entry at WrestleMania 30 because he's getting up there.
To be honest with you, The Rock career is like winding down.
Really is. So who knows? Next year he could be Hall of Fame.
That's a key possibility.
So Sean, let's bring it back real quick to the clique. What can you tell us about the clique that some of us don't really know about them?
Well, there's a little bit of hidden things that a lot of people don't know about the clique. Originally, one of the members that was supposed to be in the clique was Justin Incredible.
Oh,
yes. Yeah.
I heard about that.
Apparently,
I heard about that. Yeah.
Apparently, a lot of people don't realize it, but X-Pac usually had talked about it. Him and I want to say Shawn Michaels had actually talked about it at one point because they both had wrestled each other like underground. You know, no one really didn't know about it, but you know, that's one of the things that a lot of people don't know about the clique, and a lot of people give the clique a bad rep. You know, apparently, you know, when Shawn Michaels had written his book, you know, they were saying how, you know, how they would get so close with Vince, but that's only because they were the top stars. You know, him, Nash, and Hall, you know, they would just get close to Vince, and a lot of guys in the back would just be upset about him, you know.
Right.
And also the name, the clique, actually was given to him by Lex Luger.
Oh, watch out.
Yeah, because they spent so much time together. You know, Lex had just given the name the Click, and you know they thought it was cool, so they just started calling themselves the Click.
Damn.
And what, somebody had mentioned because they mentioned how the Click was their group was kind of compared with Hogan and Savage's group. The only difference between Hogan and Savage's crew is that they actually liked each other, and they didn't have no heat.
So let's bring it back to Sam real quick. Sam, from back in the day when you started watching wrestling, what's your top wrestlers that stand out for you the most? Like out of growing up, I mean, you told us about Hogan and Savage. Who else?
Growing up, my all-time favorite wrestler is Bret the Hitman Hart. I definitely love Bret Hart, and I got to see him wrestle live for the first time in 1993. He wrestled Bam Bam Bigelow as Superstars, and it was awesome, you know. And his brother Owen, he was a great. Owen could have been one of the greatest of all time. He was the total package. He had it all. He could wrestle. He could fly. He could talk. He could do it all.
Oh, crazy! That's what's up.
But yeah, I'm definitely a Hart mark.
Oh, Hart. All right. So you're talking about. So let me throw some names out there. You just tell me what pops in your head when you hear that name. Junkyard Dog.
Oh man, barking and running around the ring like a crazy man.
Dusty Rhodes.
You know, I wasn't into NWA a lot as a kid, so I only know Dusty Rhodes as this big fat polka dotted guy who, to me, he was more annoying than he was like awesome. A lot of my friends that I knew that grew up on NWA, like, they looked at Dusty Rhodes as a god, and I'm just like, whatever. I hate that guy.
Oh damn! All right.
I don't hate him. I'm not into him.
One of my favorites, The Ultimate Warrior.
That guy was crazy. You know what? Did you guys hear the rumor in like '92 that he was dead? Because I thought he was dead for years. I thought he was dead, and then he came back at WrestleMania, I want to say 12, something like that. And you know, he had a pretty good run. You know, in '96 when he came back, I really enjoyed him. And but you know, back in the day when he WrestleMania 6, him and Hogan, he shocked the world. He really did.
You know, let's go back to that whole Warrior thing real quick. Since you live on the West Coast, up northern Cali, did you ever hear the story about 3 times in a row Warrior died in a motorcycle accident?
No, I heard that he was found in the parking lot in the back of his car, dead. Like he went back to the shoot up and he just like died.
I heard 3 times in a row, different locations though. 3 times in a row, he died in a motorcycle accident in northern Cali near San Jose though. That's a crazy part.
No, I didn't hear any of those.
3 times in a row, back to back. Another star I got in mind for you, the late great Andre the Giant.
I didn't really see a lot of them. You know, he didn't wrestle a lot on TV by the time I was a kid, but I really, you know, I liked him a lot. He was definitely a spectacle to watch. WrestleMania 3, man, when Hulk Hogan body slammed him, that was pretty crazy.
Let's take it up to the future real quick. Dolph Ziggler.
Man.
Can't believe he's been a world champion already, you know?
Right?
For what, 10 minutes?
Also, CM Punk.
Dolph Ziggler, what I wanted to happen was I wanted to see Chris Jericho in the Elimination Chamber, and I wanted to see Dolph cash in, and I really wanted to see Dolph and Jericho give that title some prestige. Because I believe that those 2 guys can go out there. Jericho's one of the greatest of all time, and Ziggler's one of the best up-and-comers right now. And I think those 2 guys could have gone out there, and they could have given that belt some much-needed prestige.
All right. How about this, CM Punk?
Well, best in the world.
Really?
I'm a mark for him, too. I watched him since Ring of Honor. You know, he came to TNA. I watched him there, and I've always loved CM Punk, and when he got signed to WWE, I was really happy, and, you know, just his career's been awesome. He's had an awesome career, and he's just gotten better. He's just gotten better with time.
Okay, let me ask you this one. El's going to hate me for this one, but Edge.
Uh-oh. Oh, hell no.
Who?
What do you think about Edge?
Edge. You know, Edge is one of those guys that, as a face, he's totally annoying, and I really don't want to see him. But when he's heel, and he can be perfect. He can be the perfect heel.
Oh, wow.
I didn't like the whole shaving Kurt Angle's head and making the "you suck" chants. I didn't really like that, but I definitely liked his rated R stuff.
That's what's up.
Especially when he started becoming a main eventer, and he stepped up his game a lot. And it's a shame, you know, he had the whole neck thing, but you know, it's time to go. It's time to go.
So, I because, you know, Mr. L didn't, like, really tell me, like, who you were. I just seen that you was a comedian. How long have you been a wrestling fan?
I've been a wrestling fan my entire life, since I was a little kid. I remember watching, one of the oldest things I remember watching is Survivor Series, like, 88, something like that, where Bobby Heenan was dressed up like Andre the Giant. He was facing the Ultimate Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my first memories of wrestling. I've been watching it nonstop ever since.
Have you ever thought about becoming a wrestler, or like, because it seems like, you know, based on what I've been hearing, you got a lot of knowledge about the business. Have you ever thought about doing, like, you know, what WCC be doing, like, you know, hosting your own talk show, or, you know, like getting involved in some capacity?
I've definitely especially lately, I've been thinking about getting, you know, starting some kind of podcast. I've been a guest on this. I have this buddy. He broadcasts from San Jose City College, which is close to my house, and once in a while I'll go and I'll guest co-host with him, and it's really fun. And I love talking about wrestling, so I have thought about doing that. And then I've also thought about trying to become a manager, but at this point, there's really no managers, you know, in wrestling anyway, so it's kind of a waste.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be fun though, because I definitely like to talk, and I definitely like, you know, to get in people's faces, not, you know, get in people's faces, but, you know, rile people up is what I like to do. And so that would be awesome, you know, being a manager, being somebody's mouthpiece.
Exactly.
Yeah, because one of my guys that he actually trying to get in BCW wrestling. Over here in Milwaukee, he want me to be his manager, and I told him, I said, well, when you, like, the mouthpiece, you got to be, like, really creative on the mic, you know, especially if you're representing your wrestler, basically. Like, you got to be, like, what Paul Heyman does for CM Punk. I mean, you got to be, like, quick, witty on the mic, especially if you're a heel. I love being a heel. I mean, because there's nothing better of being an asshole. I mean, like,
yep.
I mean, you can't like really be a face and say, well, my guy over here is going to whoop your ass, and we're going to do it for all the kids and the children and the trees and the birds and everybody that hates you. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to do that shit. It's like, I really like to, like, really show, like, my heel person, my evil personality, basically. I mean, that's what makes great television, you know what I'm saying? So my question to you is, if you do decide to go that route, what division would you like to go in? Would you like to stay with the indie scene, or would you go to the WWE, NWO? I'm not NWO, but TNA.
Well, I would definitely go out of my way to keep my distance from TNA, but I would love to hit the indie scene, and I would love to sign a WWE contract, but, you know, things like that aren't going to happen. But it would definitely be nice to be somebody's mouthpiece and just go out there and just talk shit to the crowd and get people riled up and get people to hate you and hate the guy that you're representing. Like, I'm a natural heel, and for me, especially with the comedy background, which also you have to be quick-witted on the mic, and, you know, people, like, because when you're on stage doing comedy and somebody says something, you got to be like, boom, it says something right back. And so that kind of would prepare me for it a little bit. And so I think if I could, you know, balance them both, but it's kind of a pipe dream.
That's one of the things I wanted to ask you too. I mean, being a stand-up comic, you know, like you'll get those hecklers. What was the worst heckler that you ever had?
Oh, the worst heckler I've ever had. Well, before I really was able to fire back on them, I had these drunk frat boys was like talking shit in my whole set, and it was throwing me off really bad. And they're like, oh, this guy sucks. This is terrible. I'm better than this. And I was just like, I could hear it, and I was like, I don't know what to do. And then it was just like at some random bar in San Jose here. And then a week later, I went to San Francisco, and I went to this like, an actual legitimate comedy club called the Purple Onion, and that place is amazing. And I heard people in the crowd during my set saying, oh, this guy's awesome. This is so funny. And so I kind of, got a little bit of confidence back on that one. But, I don't really know what the worst one is. I had this one, I was at this bar one time, and people were playing pool right next to the stage, and that kind of sucks because, you got the loudness of the pool balls going, and, you're trying to talk and stuff, and it's hard.
Octavio Martinez, any questions for Sam Medina?
Yeah, going back to your wrestling fan mode, what is actually your favorite wrestling match of all time?
Well, I'm not going to say Alicia Fox versus Melina.
Uh-oh.
But if I say that, I might get signed by WWE because that's what they like, right?
Exactly.
I'm really partial to the Iron Man match. Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, minus the 2 minutes and like 15 seconds of overtime. That was kind of bullshit. But I really think that Shawn and Bret had the best chemistry, just of two people just to go out there and tearing it up. So I would say pretty much anything Shawn and Bret, minus the screw job, of course, because that really broke my heart.
Ah. Damn.
Oh, you know what? Also, Owen and Bret, they had really good chemistry too.
Oh, you said Owen and Bret?
Owen and Bret, yeah, their cage match in, what was it, 94?
Well, shit, also they're brothers, you know what I'm saying?
They definitely grew up together. But I really enjoyed watching those two. WrestleMania 10, you know what? Okay, I'll say this. Opening match, WrestleMania 10, that's probably my favorite match of all time.
Oh, okay.
Owen Hart he was like an opposite of Shawn Michaels. Like, really. Like, I just really, like, Owen Hart had so much potential, but, like, never was a world champion. Like,
he could have been. See, my theory is this. Owen, his little circle that he ran with was Triple H, The Rock, and Steve Austin, and Owen Hart. And those four guys were exchanging the Intercontinental title back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Owen died, and then the other three guys went on to be world champions. And so if Owen hadn't died, he would have gone along with those guys, and they would have been just changing the world title back and forth like they were with the Intercontinental title.
Mm-hmm. Right. Speaking of people who passed away, a few weeks ago we had our show right here on Overload every Tuesday night. The number to call is 760-569-7676, access code 200-446-pound. But our topic of the night a few weeks ago was Chris Benoit in the Hall of Fame. What are your thoughts of Chris Benoit?
Chris Benoit is one of the greatest of all time. I'm not gonna let what he did tarnish his wrestling legacy in my eyes. He did a horrible thing, and putting that aside, he was one of the greatest technicians that I've ever seen step in the ring. He had this match against Bret Hart again. He has a match against Bret Hart on Nitro. It was the one that they dedicated to Owen. I don't know if you guys remember that match, but that match was phenomenal. And him and Chris Jericho, ladder match, Royal Rumble 2000, I think.
2001.
2001, okay. That match just blew my mind. Just every second of that match.
Yeah,
those two guys were just phenomenal.
That was one of the sickest matches. Out of they feud, that was one of the sickest matches, though. Ooh.
It really was.
Especially when Chris Jericho, but Chris Benoit was trying to do a suicide dive, and he was met with a steel chair. I was like, ow! Oh
yeah, he just hit him with a chair. That was devastating. And that's probably what did it. That's probably what drove him over the edge. It just took him a couple years.
Damn.
He dove into a chair shot face first.
I mean, it was like nothing but forehead and neck. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, it was legitimate. He definitely didn't cover himself up for that one.
Yeah, he really didn't. Shit, probably did like knock a brain or two.
Sam, you say you're a wrestling fan, and I heard you kind of put down TNA. Is there any reason why?
They're just terrible. I mean, TNA has probably one of the greatest groups of wrestlers. They have phenomenal talent. They have Kurt Angle, they have AJ Styles, they have Samoa Joe, they have Frankie Kazarian, they have Christopher Daniels. They have talent, but they don't know what they're doing. This whole Aces and Eights thing, it's terrible. It makes me not want to watch them. The Aces and Eights is just awful because you can't have a group without somebody who can legitimately win the world title. What would you guys do if we go back to 1996, Bash at the Beach, Hall and Nash are in the ring, Sting is laid out, Macho Man's laid out, Lex Luger is stretched out. Oh my God, here comes Devon. That doesn't work.
Stupid.
Their biggest star is Devon.
What you talking about?
Oh, you bogus.
What you talking about, Will?
Oh, you bogus as hell, but the shit is funny, though, because he's telling the truth. He said, here comes
Yeah,
Devon.
you can't have a legitimate group without somebody that you can possibly see win the world title.
All right, let me ask you a question. Now, you just dissed the fuck out of Devon, and the shit was hilarious. So what do you think about Devon? You think Devon was like a bad choice to be this hidden character in Aces of Eights? Is that what you basically saying? I mean, I agree with you 100% because it's like Devon is like really not of a strong character to be the leader or semi-leader of Aces and Eights. I just want to get your thoughts on that because like you just like really just crushed his dreams. Like, ouch.
Ouch.
No, I don't think Devon deserves anything more than the TV title. Like, I really don't. Like, He's good and everything, but he's not a draw. He's not as good as he used to be. He's on his decline from his, he's going downhill from here. And Bully Ray would have been a better choice to me than Devon. And it's not because he's black and because he gets the tables. Even though I love that storyline, that was a fantastic storyline. It's like, he only tells you to get the tables because you're the black one. Though I don't remember who told him that. I think it was Elijah Burke. I don't know.
Oh wow.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do like Devon. The Dudley Boys are one of the greatest tag teams of all time. I just don't see Devon being a threatening.
I don't either. I don't either. I was trying to figure out.
They should made Al Snow the leader. I don't believe that one. I'm just ripping on the Bookers.
He's too much of a joke. He wouldn't be.
Yeah, he is. No, I agree.
Now, I would have thought, like, probably, who's that one? AJ Styles would have probably been somebody that would have been like a throw-off,
Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, Jeff Jarrett, yeah.
I want to see Jeff Jarrett come out, take off his hood, and be like, TNA, you screwed me over. I created this company, and I'm going to end it. Like, it's so simple. I don't understand why they're not doing it.
I don't know. It might be a writer that's in the back and just...
So are you saying that Jeff Jarrett will be able to save the company?
I think that Jarrett can draw better than Devon can, especially in TNA. Jeff Jarrett's king of the mountain. He's been NWA champion like 600 times. I think he can. He would at one point. He was the equivalent of Triple H. You put it on WWE and you got Triple H. You put it on TNA, you got Jeff Jarrett, and I think that he's the equivalent of Triple H over there.
Well, let me ask you this. Speaking of Jeff Jarrett, what do you think? What do you think is the future of TNA in your eyes?
Exactly.
Randy Orton.
Oh.
Wow.
Good choice.
Good choice.
Good choice.
No, Orton's on his way out. Orton's definitely on his way out. One more wellness policy, he's gone.
So, so you think that he's going to go over there to TNA?
Where else is he going to go? I mean, I guess he doesn't have to work. But you know what? He would legitimize the Aces and Eights.
That is
yes,
true.
He would. And he's a damn good
He would
heel.
make them look like a threat.
Now I'm going to follow up one with Chris's question. Out of WWE, who do you think is the next star that's going to jump ship to TNA? Valentino Morello.
Well, besides Orton, I guess. I don't know. It just depends on who WWE releases. Because Christian kind of surprised me, but I really liked when he went to TNA. That was when TNA was really at its best. I would say, you know what? A month ago, I would say Jack Swagger, but now WWE is getting behind him, so I don't know if he's gonna go because he's probably gonna stick around for a while now. There's a lot of guys that are just floundering. You know who TNA needs to pick up is Harry Smith. I think he would excel in TNA.
Really?
There was a rumor going around that he was a leader of Aces and Eights, so that's a little iffy because there's one more big man to be revealed. By the way,
I still wouldn't like to see him as a leader. It has to be somebody who's World Championship material, who isn't World Championship potential, but who is World Championship material now.
Right.
I think the last big man. Don't quote me on this because I don't know for sure, but I think it's Snitsky.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh my God, are you serious?
It's not.
Yeah. So we got Luke Gallows, we got Wes Briscoe, we got Garrett Bischoff. Like this group isn't threatening at all.
Exactly.
I feel bad for them.
I'd be more scared of 3MB.
Oh wow!
Wow.
See now that's disrespectful, bro.
How many times? Let me ask you a question. How many times has Ace and H ran away from a fight? How many times has 3MB ran away from a fight?
This is true.
That is disrespectful as fuck.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the funny Mr. Sam Medina from San Jose, California. He got Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Follow him on that at Funky Sam Medina. Sam, we thank you for coming in tonight. I hope you enjoyed us. I hope we enjoyed you. Any last words? Anything you want to throw out there real quick?
Just thanks for having me on, man. It's been a blast, and I hope we can do this again. And thank you to the WCC family. Like how many? 9, 10 of you. It's been fun. It's been awesome.
That's what's up. Once again, the number to call is 760-569-7676. Access code 200-446-pound. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at WCC Live. Also, if you got Facebook, add us on Facebook at facebook.com/group/Wrestling Commentary Central. I'm EL.CIBERNETICO, alongside with Mr. Jones himself from the Buckeye State.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Sam. Thank you all for tuning in.
Also, don't forget to sign up to our YouTube channel at Spawn 2011 number 3. That's Spawn 20113. Check out all the WCC channels on there. All the shows are up on there. And we'll see you next Tuesday night. Thank you, Sam Medina. Support the comedy scene. Support the local indie scene. And we'll see you guys next Tuesday night.